Hello, welcome everybody. Annalise here, and thank you for joining me tonight for Yin with Aromatherapy. We're going to have a really nourishing practice, just focusing on release, letting go, creating space, and we're going to also use essential oils to support our practice. So I've got tonight, I always bring in my doTERRA oils, and they're really safe and effective and therapeutic. And tonight I've brought in myrrh essential oil. So it might be a little obscure. I don't know if you've got that at home or not. But if you do, grab it. If you've got something that you're just really called to tonight, usually you can just sort of stand in front of your essential oils and look at them and be like, oh, that's the one that's calling to me. So you can do that as well. And but I'd love to tell you a little bit about myrrh as we put it on the body. So well, let's first by just taking a few deep breaths. That's always a great place to begin. So I'll just put some oil in my palm. Rub the hands together. And close down your eyes. When you're ready, cup your hands over your nose and just take a few really deep breaths. If a sigh falls out, just let that go. So just continue just to really breathe in the aroma of the essential oil that you're using tonight. I personally chose myrrh for tonight as a really anchoring oil that's really nice just for bringing a state of calm. It's great for anxiety, for depression, and it's great for many physical sort of stuff too. Gum disease, you can put it on the bottom of your feet. When you've taken enough deep breaths, start to place the oil on your body. So you could even put it on your flex points here, on your pulse points. You could give your shoulders a sneaky little squeeze while you're around that area, the neck as well. Why not? And just start to sort of move the oil across your body and onto the feet. The bottoms of the feet is really nice too. It supports your immunity, your thyroid when you place that on the bottoms of the feet. Great for the skin, eczema, wounds, stuff like that. And for congestion and mucus, so you can put on your chest if you've got a cold and you just want to clear up a little. And it's always been used for meditation. It's really, it's a good connector to earth and spirit, I find. So such a lovely balance there with the myrrh essential oil. And it fosters inner stillness and encourages spiritual growth. And so isn't that beautiful? So once you've applied your oil, you've taken some deep breaths, we're just going to start by getting grounded. And before we do lie down, I just want to mention you might want a few props, a couple of blocks like these or books, some cushion or pillows or something that you could use as a bolster or a bolster, and a blanket, a nice lovely blanket. All right, so we might even use a little strap tonight too. If you've got long hair, you can use your ponytail, or a belt you could use. All right, so we're going to come into a lying butterfly pose to begin. So putting the soles of the feet together, I'm just going to have my blocks close by under the knees, and just start to shimmy one elbow, then the other elbow down, and then one shoulder, then the other. And then come to settle. You might even want to put the blanket across you at this point. So here, the legs are in a nice diamond shape. The knees are supported if you need, if there's any sort of screaming in the hips and you just want to feel calm and find that point where your body knows that there's something happening, there's sensation, and there's no pain. And so we don't want to sort of go too far in our yin practice. We want to take time and many breaths just to sort of let the body sink in and sort of let the yin tissues receive the the benefit from long holds and relaxation and stillness. So here your arms can be out by your sides, or they can be on your belly or your heart. And let's again just come to a nice sort of alignment with the head and the spine. And then we'll come and take some deep breaths in through the nose. Release with a sigh. Let's do that again, letting go of your day. Just letting the body land and arrive. And allow the breathing to just be natural, moving in and out through the nose. And just notice how spontaneous the breath is. How natural it flows without any control. Allow the forehead to soften and broaden. Feel the temples relaxing and the jaw. And feel the shoulders nicely grounded and supported. And so your arms can relax. Let your hips be fully weighted down into the earth. As you just continue to breathe and allow the body to settle more and more. And check on your eyes if there's any tension around there. Just let that go. And the ears can soften, relax downward toward the ground. That might feel natural as you focus on that smooth forehead, broad and relaxed. And just pay attention to the breath here once more, if you weren't already following. And in our practice today, we're really going to try and stay aware of the breathing. And so let's just really focus on the exhalation. And as you breathe out, notice how your diaphragm domes upward. Notice how your belly retracts and relaxes. As you breathe out, your internal organs relax. And your pelvis gently lifts and sort of shrinks in circumference. And so we'll just follow that exhale and how the body moves with the exhale, how it reacts, responds. And then as you just really tune into that action of the exhales, that softening, also allow the outer skull to expand on the exhale. Notice the softening around the mind as you breathe out. And then use your next inhalation to draw prana up all through the whole torso, from the pelvic floor to the top of the chest. You can take a deep breath if you like. And feel that energy moving, and exhale to just come back to the body, come back to the earth, release. And just a few moments here of silence just for you to be with your breath. Okay, and so as we prepare to move now, we're going to support the legs. So with your hands outside your thighs, just support them up, and heel toe the feet out to the edges of your mat, and just start to gently let the knees fall to the left and then over to the right, and just really smoothly flow left and right. If your blocks are in the way, you might want to keep them close by, not push them too far away, as they may come in handy for the next pose. Alright, so let's bring both knees into the chest. Just take your hands around your knees, or wrap your arms around your shins, and gently flow from side to side. And we'll keep the right knee bent. Let's extend the left leg away from you. And we'll come into a twist over to the left side here. So the right knee just crosses over. The head. Inhale. And the or shallow. At the moment. With my body and level, come back and bring those knees again up into the chest. And then an organic movement just to release any tension that might have come up there in that twist. All right, let's extend the right leg away this time and cross the left knee over. And if you want to have your arms out, you may, or extend that left arm overhead, gazing left. And sort of find that Goldilocks point, that really sort of perfect place where the body feels good. And we can take as much time to get there so that we do arrive there. And sometimes after lying for a while or holding a pose for a while, the body does ask to shift a little. And that's great. If you can listen to those messages, it's saying, oh, I can go deeper. And maybe it's not. But you're never stuck. The third eye be open. It's connecting to another aspect of your being, your intuitive eye. Let's allow another few breaths here just to really sink into your twist. And slowly come back to center. And let's again hug the knees in. Give your legs a loving embrace and some organic movement on your mat. It's releasing the lower back. And then we'll just roll over onto the side and just take a breath there. So like in the fetal position. Just take a moment before we come up just to breathe, a few deep breaths. And then slowly you can press the body up as we come to sit. Let's take the left leg out ahead of us and cross the right ankle over the left thigh. So you can have it above the knee, you can bring the knee further over, it doesn't really matter. You can see what works in your body. And here is when you might want a strap or a belt or something like that. Or if you've got a ponytail, you can use that. We'll just do a shoulder stretch to begin. So the right arm can go overhead I'm going to turn around so you can see what I'm doing here. And then bend the left arm to hold the strap and wriggle your fingers towards each other. And just sort of lining them up along the spine, you might be able to interlace the fingers. This is a really nice stretch. Some of you might prefer to do the Anjali Mudra behind your back. I don't know if this kind of thing. And the ponytail trick. I should show you that one. If you've got long hair, you can hold on with one hand and the other. Oh, it's not going to work, but you get the idea. All right. And so let's just get really nice and open so that the chest opens, the shoulders receive some space, some breath. Should feel sensational. And just breathe into that sensation. Just breathe calmness into that sensation. And if you used there on the heart space tonight, you might find there's that sort of open lung capability to really receive breath, feel the space. Let's take one more deep breath in and out. If you've got your strap, just release it. We're going to fold forward here. So just allow the back to round. You can also bend your knee, put a bolster underneath if this is going to make it easier to fold forward. Or you could sit up on a block or a bolster and just let the back round, fold inward. You can have your palms down, which is more grounding through those hand mudras. Or you can have the palms facing up, which is more an action of surrender and also does stretch out the wrists a little bit too. So let's just come to the breath, those exhales. Yin yoga is really a practice of yielding and allowing. And so give yourself permission to let go. And check in with the breath. Find that quality in the breath that you would like to sort of feel in the mind as well. Calm, steadiness. Let's take 5 more breaths here. Just you and your breath, experiencing this moment. And let's slowly start to walk the hands towards you. Bring the body up. And actually walk the hands behind just to lean back. Release the leg. Maybe give them a stretch out and a little point of the toes, little flutter kick action. Or windshield wipers. You might really like that too. So we'll extend the right leg out and cross the left leg over, either the ankle above the knee or wherever feels good in your body tonight. And come for that come into that shoulder stretch one more time. This time the left arm can go overhead, right arm behind. Walk those hands towards each other along the spine. Let the back of the head rest in the forearm if that's available. And feel nice and broad and open across the chest. Let the lungs really receive. Another nice deep breath in and out. And then gently release your strap and start to fold down, releasing the body into this relaxed shape. And if the body's not relaxed, how can you make it more relaxed? Could you put a block under your knee? There's a lot of license to be creative, as every individual body is so different and every experience in each body is so different. And so, you nurture yourself and fill the space between your body and the floor. If you're holding with tension, find a way to release and let go. Just breathe and surrender. And as you complete your time here, gently walk the hands towards you. We've got some mirror diffusing in the air, as well as me having mirror in my chest, and I think that's really you're seeing it acting. It's incredible medicine. So here we are. We'll start to unravel. Come on up, stretch your legs out. Let's take a child's pose. Coming onto the tummy. Or not onto the tummy. We'll come onto the knees, and let's take the knees really wide for this child's pose, with the big toes together, and start to walk the hands forward. So extending the arms forward. If this causes discomfort in the shoulders, just support the forehead on the back of your hands with your elbows bent. Come to the floor with the forehead or to a block. And simply breathe. Breathe out. The in-breath that follows, notice how spontaneous it is. And how you don't have to ask it to happen or make it happen. This pose is really nice for creating space between the vertebrae, all the vertebrae. So let's see if we can feel the breath moving into that space. Puffing up the back like a parachute. And then relaxing like the parachute is draping over your skeleton. Taking a few more breaths, nice and grounded. And then coming on up to hands and knees. Now I'm going to actually come into a sleeping swan. So you can stay on all fours or just press into a down dog and bring the right knee to the right elbow, wrist. That's what it is. And then just start to walk that left leg back. Now the block might be really handy under your right hip. If you've got any knee issues or just discomfort, fill that space, make it happen, make your body comfortable, and then just start to fold down into your sleeping swan position, letting your forehead rest on the back of your hands or on the floor. And breathing to soften more and more with every exhale. And in every, there are so many moments in our day that we can either react or respond. And so yin yoga is just a really nice sort of practice for paying attention to the reactions when they occur. Sometimes the mind sort of clings to patterns or learned patterns, behaviors. But when we can sort of be aware of those reactions and respond with a deep breath, a calm, slow breath, coming back to center, that's when we're sort of closer to our core self. And stay present with every breath, soften with every exhale. Now we'll stay for 5 more breaths. Slow and steady. And slowly come on up, tucking the back toe under. You can come back to a down dog or come onto your hands and knees and have a little move around. You can just sort of move the hips, the legs, any which way you like. Let's do that on the other side. So just making your way with your left knee behind your left wrist and slowly walking that right foot back, setting up your body so that your hips are square and balanced, and then starting to fold forward. And you might want that other block under the forehead. You'll know your body, so just let your forehead land and your body feel the earth, and your breath to feel no boundaries. Let the shape of your body soften. Relaxing the jaw. And maybe checking if there are any reactions that come up when we're in silence. It's a time often the mind can really start to think about all the things to do on the list and all of those kind of things. And so what a beautiful opportunity when we practice our yin yoga, just to stay present, just to sort of allow those thoughts to come in because they're natural, but to catch them and acknowledge them and respond. And so how are you responding in this time of stillness and silence? Let's take 5 more breaths now. Super nourishing breaths. And then slowly come on out, either onto tabletop position to stretch out that leg or into down dog. Have a stretch around. And now we'll come very slowly onto our backs, keeping a block or 2 in arm's reach. So we'll come onto the back. And so we'll have a nice big full body stretch. Reaching your arms and legs away from your center. And then we'll bring onto the ground. They're lined up with the hips. We'll do a supported bridge pose here. So I'm going to take a block. You can put 1 or 2 blocks underneath your sacrum. And just bring the shoulders onto the ground. You can hug them a little toward the spine. And let them settle downward. Back of the head also settle downward. Now this is a beautiful pose because, again, you don't have to do any work. You can just allow this supported bridge pose to just sort of bring a nice little space into the lower back, the mid back. Feel your breath moving throughout your torso. Breathing in from the pelvic floor to the top of the chest. This is also really nice for supporting the lower body energy centers. Where we hold energy of security and stability, and also flow and creativity, inspiration, and also empowerment and authenticity in that power. And so if there's any areas there that are resonating with you, anything there, you can breathe in those qualities that you're sort of drawn towards, whether it is, I'm breathing in security, I am secure. I am inspired. What about I am empowered? You can always drop yourself little positive love bombs like that on the mat, in meditation, off the mat, in the car. And always is well received, those positive vibrations, those positive intentions and affirmations. Now let's come out of this pose just by pressing down into the feet and lifting the hips. Remove that block. And let's take your hands and sort of cup them around your knees as they come close to the body, and just start to draw circles with your knees. It's like you're massaging around your sacrum. All right. Again, let's have a big full body stretch. Big breath. And from here, we'll come into a pose called Bananasana. So the hips are going to stay grounded, and we'll start by taking the shoulders sort of over to the right. I'm going to actually take my hands above my head and just let the elbows bend. And keeping the hips on the ground. You don't have to go too far with the shoulders because we're still going to move the legs. So just remembering we can always deepen into the pose more later. Sort of find a happy place with the shoulders on the ground, and then we'll take the right heels and just take them a little over to the right. So now your body is in the shape of a banana. You can also bring your right ear towards your right shoulder. And just as I like to imagine in this pose, imagine lying on the grass or on the beach on a lovely sunny day, soaking in the rays of sunshine and feeling good. Yeah, an alternative, an option that you might like with the legs is you could always cross one ankle over the other. It can be either one. You can play with both. Sort of exploring different sensations and what feels good for you. Check it if there's any place that is a little tense. Could you breathe with intention into that space? A calm breath. And on the other hand, after this time here, after about 30 seconds or a minute in our yin poses, the body does sort of tell you, does it want to go deeper or not? So you might have the urge to adjust your body, whether it's deeper or pulling back a little, and that's okay. And then come back to stillness and breathe. Take a few more breaths here. And so first we'll move the legs slowly. Then when they're back in line, we'll bring the shoulders back in line. And let's take the feet wide on the mat, bending the knees, and just windshield the legs, the knees to the left and to the right. And come back here. Let's stretch the legs out, and we'll keep the hips grounded as you just shimmy the shoulders over towards the left, creating a lateral bend in the spine. And then from here, the legs, the heels, start to travel just maybe a little bit to the left. The arms can go overhead, and the shoulder or the left ear can come toward that left shoulder even, just to really open up the right side of your neck. And choosing any foot variation, should you like to go there. Or you can just let your feet rest next to each other. And slow, steady breathing. Take just a few more breaths here. Alright, let's start by bringing the legs back and then coming back into neutral position with the head, the spine. Once again, take the feet wide on the mat and the knees fall left and to the right. And if your essential oil is in arm's reach, you might want to put a little bit more oil on your body, on your forehead, across your brow, again on the neck or the shoulders, anywhere at all. And then we'll start to make our way into Shavasana. In Shavasana, find that beautiful alignment with the head and spine and pelvis. Take your feet to at least hip width distance apart. You can take them wider as well if you like. Let your shoulders soften into the ground. You can shuffle them both toward the spine, opening the heart first, and then settle them down. And let your arms rest either by your sides or hands on belly. And when you feel really comfortable in your body, like everything is symmetrical and balanced, and start to exhale. And then notice how the inhale just spontaneously arrives. And then that exhale, notice the body, the diaphragm, the belly, the organs, the pelvis, the collarbone, the upper arms. The body is releasing, letting go, softening. And just take these next exhales to feel like you're just getting really anchored into the ground. As your body integrates here all the work that you've put in tonight for yourself, all that loving, nurturing work that you've offered yourself. And your body can now receive. Let your eyes relax, sinking into the sockets. Your forehead broad, smooth. Relax the wings of your nose. And also soften the root of your tongue. Throat, can release any tension. And the body can just get more and more relaxed as you surrender. This is the ultimate act of surrender. And notice how your body feels. Notice your breath and your mind. Know that this is a state that you can come back to at any time. Let's take a deep breath now, breathing in through the nose and filling up the whole torso, the diaphragm, the pelvis. Everything is receiving, expanding. Feeling the prana flowing now, and allow that sensation to awaken the fingertips and the toe tips. Give them a wiggle, a stretch. And start to make those movements larger through the arms and the legs. You can also turn the head side to side. Eventually, let's have a big stretch, a hug of the knees, a big stretch, all in the right order for you. And eventually we're going to roll over in the fetal position on the right hand side. And just take a moment there. And then press the body up. Keep your eyes closed. Your heart open, your hands at your heart. Thank you so much for sharing your precious time with me this evening and creating this space for yourself. Namaste.